liquidity source. So it's going to be a disgusting liquidity gap. You do not want to be anywhere near meme coins when they drop this token.
Yeah, they're trying to extract some value, but at the same time, they're just doing what they do best, which is allow people to be degens.
Like, if I'm not buying, what is the use of your token?
The content presented in this podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only. It should not be considered as financial advice, and listeners are encouraged to conduct their own research or consult with a qualified professional before making any investment decisions.
Crypto flip.
I lost everything to crypto. Had 15K saved for my son's surgery. His heart condition was getting worse. Saw CT posts about 10x gain at life-changing trades. Thought I could double it, pay for the hospital, maybe get us a better place. Bet it all on a Hive to DeFi token. It pumped, then crashed. Rug pull. Gone in a day. Took a 3K load to chase losses on leverage heaps. Liquidate. Now I'm 18K in the hole. Son's still sick, and my wife can't look at me. She cries every night.
Bro. Oh man, this is how villains are created, bro. This is how villains are created, fam. This is how you see people doing crime in the streets, like just sticking people up with crypto because they've gone through their own pain, their own version of pain. This is absolutely hilarious.
This shit, that's the maddest thing.
No.
Oh, sorry. She cries every night. I hear her through the walls. I'm a failure. Crypto didn't change my life. Stole it. Don't eat me.
Okay. You don't have yourself to blame, bruv. Don't blame crypto, bruv.
Yeah, tell her.
Guys out here victim blaming, bruv. Stop being a little nanny. What's wrong with you? It's all your fault. You were the one that decided to take your son's money to flip it instead of doing life-changing surgery. Bro, crypto is not meant to save your life in that sense, bruv. Like, crypto is a tool. You use that tool to get money, which is another tool to do things that are more important. Your son's surgery was more important than the crypto. Bruv, this guy's just a failure as a father, blood. This is the kind of guy, yeah. Nah, I'm never going to say it, but this guy's a waste, man.
No, you're right, bro. You're absolutely right. I mean, I know you did. I know you heard back, Rick. You wanted to go deeper, but you didn't want to be trying to put the wrong music, bro. He deserves it, man. He deserves it. I'll tell you why he deserves it, yeah. Like I said, man, like cryptocurrency is the measure of excess liquidity in the market. What are you doing today with money you don't have, bro? Like, you have to think you're saved up for your son's surgery. Why not just do the surgery? Like, where did you get the back of your mind? Obviously, you have a job. So why not you allow your earned income to kind of pay for your expenses? Why do you go speculate on that money you saved up for your son's surgery? Obviously, your son needs that money, or else you wouldn't have saved it up. So it's like, I mean, and then you go victim blaming. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, I had more respect for you until the last bit of that statement. You're like, oh, I'm a failure. Ooh, my wife is pregnant. So what, man? Tell her to shut up, bro. I mean, tell her to shut up. And you need to get back on the streets and make that payback, man. Because at the end of the day, yeah, no one wants to hear your sob story. Go to your friends and family, quickly do a fundraise, get your son how to get his surgery, and get back to pulling double shifts so you can make this back. All this crying and folding hands and stuff, it just doesn't work with you, man. You gotta get active. Just simple thing, just get active. People like this, what you always say, Rick, they're edge liquidity for the market, man, because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You came in there with no risk management. Now you just say, cool. I'm gonna boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna follow this guy. DeFi tokens, you're gonna go to the moon. Why not? If you're gonna do something risky, why not just play with 1K or 2K and then put leverages? 5x leverage, 10x leverage. Maybe even 3K. So they said, what's to worse? You can borrow 3K loan and make it back to you. At least have like 15K to do your son surgery. And you can pay it back. So now you know you double hole.
You're making too much sense, bruv. Too much sense. Just dumb it down, bruv. My man, you're thinking too much, bruv. You thought about it for more than 1 second. That's too much.
Yeah, mate. No sympathy ever established is that crypto Twitter is a dangerous place for the wrong types of people. Because if you're there to this and you start seeing them screenshots, it's like a gambling addict in Vegas. Like, you shouldn't be there. You really shouldn't be there. Especially when you're seeing all of these people doing their quick wins. I just made 10 minutes. You know, now I'm in a Lambo and then a yacht with like 10 chicks or whatever. You're thinking to yourself, you know what? Why am I spending my own 50K when I could just go into the market and double it overnight? Those were the types of thoughts that were going through his mind. That's how we've arrived. But yeah, it's unfortunate, especially because of your son. Now he's the one who's gonna suffer out of all of this. But you have to figure something out because now you're minus 80K and that's mad. So boy, better next time. So I have to say. Let's go on to the next one.
For real.
Back in 2021, during my first bull run, I made a decision that would haunt me for the rest of my life. I got sucked into this group of self-proclaimed crypto gurus on Telegram. They were all talking about this coin, saying it was going straight back to its all-time highs and beyond. I put my life savings in, every last penny. Then I started to see it. Profits. First 50%, then 100%. I was on cloud nine thinking I cracked the code to Easy's wealth. I started imagining how I'd live, how I'd finally be able to quit my job, take care of my family and spoil my wife. But I was still scared that I was too late. So I double down. I sold my wife's wedding ring behind her back. She had no idea. And I convinced myself it was for our future. Also took on more debts. The more I watched the price climb, the more convinced I was that I was making the best decision of my life. Then, within 2 weeks, everything just evaporated. I watched in horror as my investment went from 100% gains to 95% losses. I didn't sell though. Couldn't. That's when everything fell apart. My wife left me, understandably. I went from living in a nice house to crashing on friends' couches, then to living at my car. All while holding onto the coin like it was some kind of lifeline. To this day, I still have it. Just a tiny silver sliver of hope that it would somehow return to its glory days. Think I'm just too ashamed to sell it, too scared of admitting I was wrong. I could have started fresh, but instead, I'm still clutching onto a coin that cost me everything. Now that was crazy. What do you man think?
The ultimate bag holder.
Yeah.
100% up.
There's another.
Imagine 100% up to 95% down and you kept it. Bro, you have to know where you're going to sell in your mind as like the minimum that you're willing to say, you know what, I'm done with this. For some people, it's 50%. For some people, it's 25%. But at the end of the day, bro, the mental stress here of thinking this thing is going to pump is way worse than you just holding this worthless bag, bro. You should have jumped out at 50%, 30% down, whatever it is. But you should have had like some measure and you didn't. And now you're in it. And it's all you, man. I would say I'm sympathetic, but this guy, bruv, he deserves it.
What do you think, Teddy?
Listen, yeah. Sometimes I wonder if these confessions are fake or real, probably, because you can't make this stuff. You can't make this stuff up. You just kind of. I'm trying not to swear at it because I'm trying to make sure this show is your kid-friendly shows.
And we take a Liam.
That's all. Big man, you can't make it up, bro. You can't make this stuff. You already in. You are riding the cheese, bro. Like, even if you gain 30% on a 1K investment, it's better than putting more and more money in and getting stuck out eventually. And people always say, it's easier for price to go, it's easier for everyone to, jolly around, celebrate, yes, claim posting, boo posting, bragging about your P&L now. But did you take profit? Did you take profit? This guy took it a step further and said, you know what? I'm going to double down. I'm going to triple down. I'm going to sell my wife's wedding ring. I'm going to put all my life savings on one investment. Not on another investment that I think is going to do well. Not like, you know what? Let me diversify my risk and make sure I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. My man said, nah, this one can't click him to the moon because some pedestrian guru told you you're going to go to the moon. Listen, you deserve it for that happen to you, man. And the worst that happened, you're still bad at holding. What?
That's the wildest thing.
Like, you haven't sold. You didn't sell your 20% down. You didn't sell your 30% down. You didn't sell your 40% down. You clearly think because he lost past the previous all campaign, he's going to do it again. Like, look at what he's done to you, man. Like, 95% losses. The wife left to you. You have to downgrade the living. Like, it's just not worth it.
You're a shadow of your former self.
All self-inflicted. It's all self-inflicted. And there's just no sympathy here, man. Like, one word that he did not put in this competition was, I managed my risk by doing this and this. It didn't say nothing about risk. Nothing. He just said, oh, what? I put more. And what? I even take out more loans. I'll tell some of my white spreaders with. That's crazy, in my opinion. That is absolutely bizarre. Then, man, better you than you know. So I was verified.
Crazy, isn't it?
Crazy. The only thing this guy didn't do was put his wife on a web. You know, this guy is like, he reminds me of like Lord of the Rings. Like, you guys seen Lord of the Rings? You know, Bollers with ring. He's just obsessed with the rings. And exactly. Even though he is detrimental to him, he's like, nah, I'm going to prove this is the spoiler alert. So no, for him, it's a case of not that I try and give like a positive spin. Okay, cool. Maybe you can work with this. You have nothing to work with. You have nothing to work with. The only thing you need to work with is, you know, your local government will try and get you a job, because that's the only way that you can actually move forward. But crypto for you, my guy, is not the one. It's, I think your time here is done, my friend. Sayonara. Welcome to the Crypto Flip Podcast. I am your host, Cyrus King, and I'm joined once again with my co-hosts, Ricardo and Deji. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen to your podcast. Don't forget to write a review, because it really helps the show and it enables us to bring more. So, this week has been crazy. The amount of things that we have seen is insane. And one of those things are our best friends. You guys should know by now. How fun is launching a token and raising $1 billion, a $4 billion FDV, which just means fully diluted value. And this is obviously after they made $730 million in fees. And now they're raising another $1 billion for a token when interest is at a all-time low. So is this a top signal? Is this just another way to catch out? It's just they're being more expectancy. How do you guys sort of do that or view this?
1 billion%, Sam. 1 billion%. Go.
I don't reckon interest is at an all-time low right now.
It's not into the crypto, but in terms of some, because just to follow up on that. So, for example, in January, they generated $137 million in revenue. In May, we just finished. That number dropped to $46.6 million, which is a 66% decline. So, you know, revenue's drying up. What can we do? I know.
Talk about drying up. I don't know.
I mean, if you've been drying up, it's drying up, bro. What do you mean, fam?
This is talking about this for a while, right? So they've been talking about actually doing a token launch for a while. And I was just trying to pull up the actual pump fund revenue on chain, because May might have looked like a small month, but when you compare May to like last year May, are they down or are they up? And yeah, that's just what I wanted to pull up on Arkham, but Arkham's giving me a little wild time right now. But
you may have to check on Dune Analytics.
Yeah, no, I'm on Dune now. But I don't like the look of it. But yeah, generally, like unless revenue is like completely through the floor based on where it was, then I don't see this token launch being a crazy move for them, and I don't see it as like completely extractionary from the market, just trying to pull money out of the market. Obviously, like, yeah, they've been talking about this for a while, and now they just made it public, and they could have just launched without saying anything to anyone. What I think is really super interesting about this is the airdrop, bro. The airdrop for Pump Fun could be the biggest airdrop of the year. Like, it could be bigger than Hyperliquid from last year.
Wait.
It could be the biggest airdrop ever.
Has they been confirmed then? Because they're saying they
100% they're gonna do an airdrop. 100% they're gonna do an airdrop. Bro, 100% they're gonna do an airdrop. I am certain of it.
They have to, because that's the only way they're gonna get interest. Because bro, you selling $1 billion worth of token, that's just not enough. Like, you know what I mean? It's not enough. Meme conductivity has been, should I say, I don't want to be mean to meme coin trading, but it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good. So if meme connectivity is not there, so what's the use of the pump fund token? That's what I want to understand. Like, what did behind the pump fund? No.
I mean, we obviously don't know, but you know what they'll probably do? They'll probably say, if you use our token, you'll probably get UGSP, future airdrops. They might do collaboration, that type of shit. But definitely the reduced fee is a no-brainer, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of utility that they'll tie to it. All right, so I'll pull up the information that I wanted from DeFi Llama. And yes, in May, in revenue, they did 40 million. In April, they did 41 million. In March, they did 35 million. But you say that means the trenches are dead. But bro, go back to July last year, it was 20 million in June, 60 million in May. Like, the lowest month over the last year was September at 40 million in revenue. Brother, I wouldn't say meme coins are like shot and dead, because 40 million revenue is still wild. Like, obviously it's far off the January 137 million in revenue, but these men are still printing. And yeah, they could have launched a token in January when everything was super hot and they were at their hottest. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and it might make sense for them to do it now. And yeah, the whole 662 mil in fees that they have, in revenue fees that they have, like yeah, they just put more money on top of that. And like, you think these people hire some of the best developers in the UK now in London, and some of the best developers in New York. I think they have like 3 or 4 devs in New York. They have to incentivize these dons with something, right? And so they're incentivizing them with, hey, you get a share of this pie of this token that we're going to launch. Because yeah, when they hit me up to come and work with them, the package was mud, and the tokens were always part of the package. And so these men are just continue to print money, bro, because I think the problem is we're trying to compare Pump Fund to like a Coinbase or like a Binance, like a cryptocurrency exchange. Low, but no. Great. What you need to compare these guys to is like a Bet365, a casino. Like, compare them to the shittest DJs in history, bro. Like, and then you can actually think about how big the addressable market is, because it's insane, man. There's DJs. Bro, we will never run out of confessions on this podcast. Just like how Pump.Fund will never run out of customers to queue up round the block to buy the meme coins that are on the block, bro. So, yeah, man, I think, yeah, they're trying to extract some value, but at the same time, they're just doing what they do best, which is allow people to be DJs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, first of all, I didn't know the bet there, and I did go better. You would think they have Ricardo and payroll, fam. The way he's always fighting for Pump Up Fun, like, I don't get up there, you know. Man, listen, Ricardo, get on business, man. I affect the business. Yeah, I respect it too. You know what it is? I think I know what it is. I think sometimes you probably beat yourself up, like, I should have done this. And you see the tellers behind it, and they're a bunch of waste men, like, you couldn't end around with you. 21,
22, and 21, the 3 founders. Just saying.
Yeah, you go. There you go. So it's like, yeah. If anyone has a bit of follow-up and a vision, like, this could be you. So, first of all, I just want to get out of that way. And then obviously the no-brainer. I mean, you can kind of see the activities in the trenches. I mean, as long as there's liquidity, it's still not as great as it needs to be. There's gonna be less activity in the trenches. And I think the next minute is move. Because there's only so much Solana sells. Like, you know what I mean? They're still selling Solanas. They're still selling to Kraken, and they're still offloading Solanas. But I don't blame them. They want to hold on past it and win after token, because you never know when the bear market will come. A lot of people online are speculating. Oh, the 4-year cycle is no longer carry anymore. because Donald Trump, we have a Bitcoin president. Look, he just, they're going to blow up in the next 4 years. Fucking idiots. You know what I mean? Like it's possible. Now, yeah, we're going to go on a parabolic blue for the next 4 years. Come on, man. Come on. So I think this is a no-brainer. And I mean, well, you said something super interesting, Rick. If they do an airdrop, it will really, really help that virality and help them market, and then up their market, like the plans and get more people. And then, you know, if they want to tie it to what your audition activity is, like Jupe did, like Happy Liquid did, the more you use the platform, the more allocation you get. That will even increase more trenches activity. So I think they have no choice but to do that. So I think that's probably the way they're going to do it. But to me, though, there's just kind of that desperation now, dude, because they said they weren't going to do it, and eventually they ended up doing it. But a lot of these companies always say the same thing, like, men and master, we're not going to do a token. They eventually end up doing a token. And Pump the Fund is never will. But where my cautionary tale is originating from is that, what is like, if I'm not buying, what is the use of your token? I'm not trading. So basically, I have got to be a DJ. I've got to be one of those guys that wouldn't do more meme connectivity trading for me to be interested in. So, because that's when I'll get the benefits of what. If I'm a family office, if I'm a trader, if I'm a day trader, if I'm a long-term investment, am I hodling Pump the Fund tokens and holding to the bear market or holding to the bull market and then selling? Potentially. You know what I mean? So I think it's a mixed bag. You know what I mean? I think it's aimed at a younger demographic to kind of buy, hold, and then maybe earn rewards. Maybe incentivize creators to launch more tokens. So there's more and more coin comes to the market. So there's more overvaluations of this space. So like this bear market is going to be a disgusting one. Like, just be prepared. Like, it's already piling up. You know what I mean? You have people using these debt to buy Bitcoin, and then now you have Pump the Fund with them basically incentivizing creators to basically launch coins, right? I mean, well, time to go like, but hey, listen, if you can make money from this, we're gonna make money from this. So yeah, I'm interested to see what the plans are around the airdrop, bro. I know they're gonna do this soon. They can't wait until they're not gonna do this for 2026. So I guess it makes sense why they are then hiring devs in New York or in London, that kind of stuff. So let's see what's happening. I'm interested to see what happens. So what do you think?
This is a PSA to everyone that listens to the Crypto Flip podcast. If you have been a loyal listener or watcher of this podcast, this is financial advice. We don't normally give, but today is a one-off. Do not buy this token under any circumstance. I repeat, you do token under any circumstance. Now, you might be wondering, why shouldn't you buy this token? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. Now, if you get an airdrop, we'll cover the airdrop side of it after this. What's going to happen? This is going to be Trump 2.0. And what I mean is, there'll be a bunch of insiders. It's going to, not saying it's not easy, it might go up. And obviously they don't want it to crash, so they might push up. But ultimately, you as retail, who they going to dump on? That's what's going to happen. And also, if you are into other meme coins, highly suggest you sort of park that for now and sort of see what are you going to do, because just on that, and that's on that alone, the whole liquidity starts up. It's going to be a disgusting liquidity tap. You do not want to be anywhere near meme coins when they drop this token. It's going to the liquidity. If you want around or paying attention when Trump and Melania drops, go back and review the chart. They were this. And this is just going to be the same thing, maybe even worse, because they control the platform. So, yeah, that's my sort of 2 cents on what I think on Pump the Fund. And also, if you're holding on to Solana, you need to be wary, because another effect of the liquidity side could be the effect on Solana. So that's my sort of running on. The second half of it is the airdrops. Now, it'll be interesting to see how they do the airdrops. I agree with Rick. They will most likely do airdrops, especially because they're raising $1 billion, which is an obscene amount of money. So how they allocate it, I'm not sure. I don't really want to speculate, but I do want to sort of give my sort of 2 cents on what they shouldn't do. What they shouldn't do is reward the creators of these tokens, because a large proportion of token creators are scammers. They're just playing scammers. So people are gonna be that have already won nonsense. Are gonna win this. Come on, man. What are we doing? Like, if they wanted to do it in one equitable way, it should be people that have made trades, obviously not including med bonds and all that type of stuff. What I also want to know is, if you've been using third-party bots, how does that impact you? And there's most people use traded bots. They don't really trade from Pummed Up Fund directly. Whether it's Bonqua, Axioms, whatever they're using. People normally use to execute their trades with Sparta, and it's more efficient. So I'll be interested to see how that works. But that aside, it's going to be a very big event, and whether you are participating or you're not participating, you definitely need to be aware of what is going to happen. Otherwise, you could potentially get wrecked and not even hold the token. That's the craziest part about it. So, you definitely need to be careful. And speaking of someone else who got wrecked, James Wynn got liquidated for $100 million in minutes. Now, the story I saw on X was wild. Basically, he had almost all of his profits on Hyperliquid wiped out. And it took him 70 days to go from 0 to $87 million in profit. And in only 5 days, he lost it all. And he was on X, asking people to send them funds so he could revenge trade and all types of stuff. So,
is that true? Yeah. No, that can't be true.
I think it was really
Nah. He wasn't. I don't remember seeing any tweets. But
Man, that's cat.
no, he did.
Me too.
I follow James Wynn. I followed him before this hype, and the reason why I followed him in the beginning was because so this guy's been actively trying to get onto news radars for a while. I started following him because he started bull posting that he's the number one trader on Hyperliquid, and I was like, bull. So then I went on to Hyperliquid, which is a public blockchain. You might know what I've done with that crypto copy trading bot. I'm like, maybe I could copy trade this guy. That would have been a fucking terrible idea. But it would have been a great idea, actually, if I copy traded him. It would have been a great idea if I copy traded him from the beginning when his account was $210, because he went from 210 to like 85 mil or 50 mil or something like that, which is insane, bro. In like,
wait, 210 racks, not 210 dollars.
No, bro, 210 flat dollars. He went from $210 to, I think the highest his portfolio was 100 mil.
Wait, what?
This year, though.
What?
And I don't mean this year. Like, he caught January. He caught Trump. Nah. We're talking somewhere in between like February and March to now. What did he buy? He was leveraged to the tits on fucking everything, bro. He was over leveraged on Bitcoin, over leveraged on ETH. I don't remember the full list of moves he caught. But anyway, so I saw this guy. I saw that. I looked on Hyperledger. I was like, okay. He said in his screenshot he was number one, but when I checked, he was number 2 or number 3. I'm like, still a G. Like, still a G. I get in. I look through some of his trades. I'm like, this guy doesn't give off. Anyway, so and then I started to see him bull posting like, the institutions want you to get wrecked. The cabals want you to get wrecked. Look, I've got this massive long on, and this is gonna go crazy. Bitcoin's gonna go crazy. Bitcoin's the future. And that's when it dawned on me that having money, or how he got to where he got to, was sheer luck, bro. Because for you to go on Twitter, it's hella luck.
Bro. $210 to 100 mil. That is a lot of luck, bro. Like, bro, I'm sorry, bro.
That's life changing. And even now, bro, like, I think his account still has like 5 or 6 mil in it, so it's not like he's back to zero. But and you look through his tweets, bro. His tweets are like, you guys think 85 mil is nothing. You guys think 100 mil is nothing. That's nothing to me. That makes no difference to my life. If I cashed out 100 mil, my life wouldn't change. I'm like, that's my bullshit. Anyway, but so I'm looking through what this guy's doing, and I'm like, bro. And then he starts talking and he starts posting, and when I realized he doesn't know what he's doing is when he started to say his trades out loud in public. And yes, you're on the Hyperliquid ledger, but not everybody checks Hyperliquid ledger. He's basically going out there saying, I cannot be wrecked. Like, nobody can manipulate the price of Bitcoin enough for me to get wrecked. And then he got wrecked. I'm like, you know, that's like idiot. That's like crypto 101, bruv. Like, the crypto community is not one to take a fucking, what's the word? It's not one to take the piss out of. It's not one to say, like, to taunt, bro. You don't taunt crypto. You don't say, come after me. Because them man will find you. Because some of these dons, bro, they have their entire life is, I have some crypto over here, but I'm just online. I'm an online donny. I do online shit all the time. And yeah, he got wrecked. But yeah, I don't know what his portfolio is like now. I might go in and check his account, but yeah, I think that was a massive fumble because I think he could have traded in quiet. There's no reason why he needed to trade so loud, and yeah, he just got wrecked. And bro, I ain't even spoken about this anywhere because I'm just like, how can someone got mad lucky and just be so, like, he just got too cocky at the end of the day.
Stupid, not cocky. I think it's stupidity, fam. Because I'll tell you what, like, first of all, Rick, I know this you saying it, so I'm inclined to believe you, but I still don't believe he made from $211 to $100 million. I think he's got a bigger bill in his stat dash, and he's just trading with those because bro, what did you buy with $211? Even if it's on chain. Yeah. So what I've seen, the switch that I've seen is him being leveraged to his net. I remember one time he had like 56,000 BTC that he was trading with, and obviously got liquidated because before it wouldn't be liquidated. My thing is, like, you started with, let's just say you start with $211. You ran that up to $100 million. Why not take profit? Why front the community and say, yeah, like, this go to the moon, no one can manipulate the price. It's just,
He wanted billions. He wanted billions.
bro, you wanted to run it from $211 to $1 billion.
He wanted billions. He didn't want 10. He didn't want 1 million. He didn't want 10 million. He didn't want 100 million. He wanted billions from crypto.
Okay, cool, fine. So why not take 100 mil and then go another 5x leverage, 10x leverage, 20x leverage, and take it from there. And another time I had which I feel like we should use. I could see in the chart those trying to manipulate those trying to wash the cake to get him liquidated because you can kind of see it. We wouldn't have that momentum anymore to kind of break the upside of 111K, and you saw it lost that key so far 108. And I thought so they're gonna feel this said by the gap. They're gonna feel that. They're gonna feel it. And then it hasn't been filled yet, but it's gonna be filled. So, and then 1,000 is like his liquidation price, his entry price was like 104, and I was like, why you entering at 104 with this amount of barrel? Like, I thought there was something you could load there, 80s, 85, 90. Why are you loading up at 104? Like, it just, to me, I just felt like from the beginning to the end, risk management, trading, how loud it was on X, it just screams exact. And then, man, he's showing people how not to get rich. Like, literally, like, things you should not do. You want to trade and make money and keep your money in this space? Don't be like Deji, because he's on the mad thing, son. Like, he's on a madman. Like, you telling me, yeah, you're not better off starting with 100 mil than trying to back to $200?
Nah, you're away.
Come on, man.
You're waste, man.
You'll have.
So I just had to double check before you go, Harris.
Go on.
So yeah. So yeah, you're right. On his Twitter now, it's just a link. There's no bull posting. There's no tweet storm. He's just there's just a contract address saying send USDC.
I told you. You did come around for the Giant Associates. I think you raised just had to get money though.
I just had to check what's in there, and I can't really. I don't know what chain it's on.
Wait, just send you money.
I'm not sure.
And that's what I was trying to check. I was trying to check
how the birds here follow him. How the movie to follow to go from nothing to 100 mil to basically, bro, 8 figures, fam. And then he fumbled that. Not like if I sold my peanut. So I get 9 figures,
9 figures, bro.
Yeah, bro. Man, you had 9 figures, man. And then this is how you. Anyway, we'll leave it there, fam. We'll leave it there.
No, this kind of reminds me of
how it's almost like
it doesn't even sound realistic. Like you start with little gas, you build it all the way up, you dump it, and you know what? biggest problem is not even his strategy, which is horrible. It's the fact that he wants out more than money. Because if he didn't open his mouth, maybe he would have been, a bit more cautious. But he sounds like he's trying to perform for the people, and boy, the people got shook. But yeah, as Rick said, you don't talk crypto. Things can happen. Things can be easily manipulated, and he's come to look you, and he's got on this bravado, and it's easy to do that when you're not actually using your actual identity. Hey, it's one of them things. All I would say is that you should probably not copy him, because otherwise you'll end up like him, minus the 100 million or 7 million.
Me, but even if I need to dig into his on-chain activities, I want to see how he took $211 to 100 mil, fam, because I didn't see that with my own two eyes, fam. But I know how he lost this, but I want to know how he got to two. I want to know how he got to 100 mil on 2 bills. Nah, I need to see that. I need to see my own two eyes, fam. I know he's leveraged, but bro, I'm a little bit
50x leverage, bro. 50x or 100x leverage. This guy, yeah, man, leverage to the tits, bro.
Yeah, but what takes you to be certain heights? You can't, you have to change your strategy. What got you there is not necessarily what's going to keep you there. A game of aggressively expanding now becomes, defensive.
Exactly. You have 100 mil now. Bro, you have 100 mil total portfolio value, or you have to just take out 50 mil, have that as a reserve just in case you get liquidated, or anything happens, or like maybe your child needs surgery or something because a mad thing happened. You never know what can happen, fam. Telling me, oh, if I took 100 mil, it wouldn't change your life. Shut up, bro. You know what I mean, bro? Even the top CEOs, all the top traders in the world would say, you know what, this money, just in case I have a really terrible year or a terrible quarter, at least I have it to fall back on, to bring it back up, my overall performance back up. He's an idiot, man. He's an idiot.
Yeah, he's definitely a special human being. And I mean that in more ways than one. And with that, see you guys in the next episode.